So everyone's been talking about how quantum computers are going to break encryption. It's going to break the internet, break Bitcoin. But if you've been following the story, then really, it doesn't seem like we have really anything to worry about. And here's why. And just here in the title, how a quantum computer could break 2048-bit RSA encryption in 8 hours. Let's focus on that RSA bit. It will come back up. So the reason why we really don't have anything to worry about looking like is because we are coming up with post-quantum computing resistant cryptographic algorithms. And one entity that is running this is NIST. So NIST stands for the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They come up with a lot of standards that our computers use so that they can all talk to each other. There are other organizations. Another one of them is like IEEE for engineering and such. But yeah, NIST has held for the past few years a competition to see which will be the new standard for post-quantum cryptography and encryption. So a little background. So Shor's algorithm, this is the algorithm that everybody's worried about. This is the algorithm that would run on a quantum computer that is designed to beat the public and private key pair encryption methods that we use today. So let's go over a little bit about how encryption actually works today, which is the public and private key pair. So basically, everyone has a public and private key pair. So on your mobile phone, on your browser, every server, anyone who does any sort of communicating over the internet pretty much has a public and private key pair at this point, multiple of them. And basically how it works is if you want to send any data that is that you want encrypted, let's say Alice wants to communicate with Bob, wants to receive something from Bob, then Alice will send her public key to Bob, and Bob will encrypt whatever message with that public key, with Alice's public key, and then send it back to Alice. And the only way to unencrypt that message is with Alice's private key. And Alice, she shouldn't give that out to anybody. And that's how encryption works today. And this key exchange is called the Diffie Hellman key exchange. So Diffie Hellman is the method of exchanging the keys and data. The standards for the algorithm to actually do the encrypting, we have two standards today. One is the elliptic curve cryptography standard, 256 bits, and then we also have the RSA 3072-bit encryption. RSA is a little bit older and pretty much the standard. ECC is pretty much just as good, and it's a little bit more lightweight. It's like used on mobile phones. Both of these cryptography methods are based on very large prime numbers, and that's what is basically encrypting all of the world's data in 2024. And at the beginning of the video, we mentioned RSA, how quantum computers could break that encryption. And yes, that is because RSA is today's standard. And here's just a little image of the OSI model. Basically, the encryption happens in step 6, presentation layer. The OSI model is just showing your application layer, the stuff that you see breaks down goes all through these layers to be transported and broken down to ones and zeros to go across the world, and then gets built back up from 1 to 7 into your eyeballs. So this entire Diffie-Hellman RSA or ECC key exchange encrypting method handshake today's standard is called the SSL handshake, or there's also TLS. But through all of NIST's competitions over the past few years, what they are now coming to is the final finalists, if not pretty much the choice that seems to be winning at this time. All of them seem to, all the best algorithms that they seem to be coming across for their choices seem to be based on lattice-based encryption, which is different from prime number-based encryption. So lattice-based encryption, basically, it uses vectors and a combination of vectors. There's a problem called the nearest neighbor problem, and that's so trying to figure out which node is nearest to another node based on a combination of vectors from an origin point. And I guess that is a very difficult problem to solve, even for quantum computers. So the finalist for their post-quantum encryption algorithm that is lattice-based comes from Crystals. It's called their kyber encryption. It stands for, I can't read that, the INDCCA2 Secure Key Encapsulation Mechanism, KEM for short, is one of the finalists for NIST competition. And so all we really would have to do to upgrade is to replace RSA and ACC in the SSL handshake, and then all of our computers, as long as both ends are using this new encryption standard, the quantum computer wouldn't be able to break that message. So even in this new future of quantum computing, which I'm really excited for, we seem to have or be coming upon solutions for keeping all of our data safe from quantum computers. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.